What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fitness Realty channel. My name is TJ McLelland and I'm the broker. I'm super excited to share all the things we have planned with you. So sit back, strap in, and let's have some fun. What's up, everybody? Hey, we're here for episode 46. We have Adam Drost with Pinnacle Sports Group. I'm so excited for him to showcase his product, and welcome to our podcast. So, Adam, will you give us a little bit of background about you so we can just learn who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you having me on, man.
Thank you.
My company's Pinnacle Sports Group. We design and build indoor and outdoor gyms and courts, primarily for homes. So right up your alley.
Nice. That's awesome. And we do have a lot of clients that are sometimes like, man, can I do like a fitness room, or can I do something in my backyard? Like, what's appealing, what's in? So I know we're going to kind of get into the products and stuff. So I'm super excited about that. So give us a little background, like how you got started, or have you been there for a long time? Let's see what that looks like.
Yeah, so it's actually sort of a family business. So my grandfather, Dan Kotler, he invented Sport Court and founded Sport Court in 1973.
Nice.
And that was kind of the first backyard court.
Mm-hmm.
Up to that point, I mean, he would pour slabs. And his first few courts, he would even do like indoor-outdoor carpet in the 70s. And he was selling the idea of these backyard courts. And, you know, the idea of getting your family outside and exercising and keeping your kids active, which was all pretty new at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he continued to develop Sport Court through the 70s and 80s and early 90s, and then ended up selling off Sport Court. My parents then founded Snap Sports in 2005.
Oh, wow.
And then I began to work for Snap Sports after college in 2011. And then in 2015 started Pinnacle Sports Group. And now we are a distributor for Snap Sports, and we do some other product lines as well.
Wow, that's crazy. I actually have a funny story. I think and just quote me if I'm wrong or correct me if I'm wrong, but I can remember when I was growing up as a kid, I would go to the home show and there was always this like sport court place where we could just shoot hoops.
Yeah.
And I was
100%.
like, I don't care what my parents are doing, but I want to go over and shoot basketball.
Yeah, they would have just my friends and I just playing roller hockey on those courts, because we would just all day and just for 8 hours play roller hockey, and kids would come shoot hoops. Yeah, it was awesome.
That is so cool. Okay, so that is the same brand like as you've grown up, or not same brand now, but just similar background and history. That's so cool. I actually didn't know that, because I mean, like I said, I've been going to the home show pretty much all my life since my mom's been in real estate almost 30 years this year. So she's been attached to the like home show or real estate in general. So I can just remember like tagging along. I'm going to the home show, but I was mad because the home show sucked when I was young. So then I was like, oh, there's a sport court though.
Yep, absolutely. There's always the best part.
Right? No, that's really cool. I didn't know that it actually kind of transitioned from that. That's pretty awesome. And so for all of our listeners out there, you can really tell there's a longevity and a history here with Pinnacle Sports Group in providing sweet sport courts so that you guys can stay active. You know, that's pretty awesome. Okay, let's talk about kind of the product itself. Like, what is the product that you offer? What's the most common thing that everybody's purchasing, I guess, this year? Or what was it that you guys were showcasing at the home show?
Yeah, so we do a couple different things, primarily outdoor and indoor multi-game courts and indoor home gyms. And as we just chatted about, but growing up on one of these as a kid and kind of seeing, like, having all my friends over and having all the birthday parties on them, it makes it really fun and cool to design these and incorporate them into people's yards, because I grew up with one myself and know how fun it was. So yeah, the process is we would typically meet with someone on site in their backyard. We would pull some measurements, chat about the sports that their kids are into or that the parents are into. And then based on the sports, the amount of space they have in their backyard, and then their budget, we can create kind of any custom size game court.
Oh, wow.
And that can be from a 20 by 25 little half court for shooting hoops, or, you know, most common is like a 30 by 50 or a 30 by 60 game court, where you would have half court basketball and then pickleball. Nice. And then up from there, where we'll do like full court basketball or regulation tennis, and it's all fully custom. Oh,
wow. That's really cool. What do you find is most common? Are people really like gravitating towards pickleball now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pickleball is crazy. So it's the fastest growing sport in the country for the second year in a row.
Whoa.
There's now 4.8 million players throughout the U.S. and it's grown 39% just last year alone. So, I mean, when we were building these in the early 2010s when I started, we would sometimes incorporate pickleball lines. Some people knew what it was, but now we don't build a quarter gym without pickleball lines. People love it, and it's an absolute blast.
No, that's so cool. So that's kind of interesting that, to me, you can really customize what the people are looking for, because there's so many different sports that you could put outside on a sport court. So that's pretty unique. I like that you can really tailor it to your clients. All right, well, let's talk about what are some of the things that you can offer outside of that? Like, what are do you have any special discounts for people that go to the home show? Or is there anything that maybe our listeners could say, hey, we saw this on our podcast, and they can get a free estimate or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if they mention your show and if they heard about us here, we could throw in our free game gear pack, which is basically, it's all the sports equipment you need for every sport. So like for these backyard courts, it has men's and women's basketballs, kids basketballs, tennis rackets, pickleball paddles, volleyballs, badminton set, kind of everything you need. So yeah, we'd be happy to throw one of those in so the family could start playing right away.
Whoa, that's huge. Oh man, yeah. I really want to say thank you to that. That's so awesome. Okay, now walk us through what makes you guys the best. Like, do you have a lot of competition out there, or is it just a very unique style of product, or why should our clients come to you?
So a few things. I think the experience is a big one. You know, having, like I mentioned, grown up in the industry, but then I've been in the business since 2011, and we've built over 600 courts since 2011. So just the experience and getting your family exactly like the perfect court for your family, which is a bit of an art form based on, you know, sizing and the sports you're going to play. So experience is a big one. And then our products. So we carry the Snap Sports line, which, you know, objectively, like the surfaces are on another level for modular surfacing. The hoops, the lighting, the LED lighting, the fencing, like their product line is top notch. And the last two things are, so service, I would just check out our reviews, our Google reviews, and just, I think that's underrated in the, you know, contractor industry, but basically, you know, and frankly, I think the bar is fairly low for backyard contractors, and we come in and we do what we're going to say, and we build it on time at what you expected or less. And I think our reviews show that people appreciate that.
Oh, that's so cool. And I love companies that have reviews, especially when you can really see what clients have put into that review, if they've really loved their product, loved their experience. And honestly, a lot of business is about service. And I find that sometimes the service is lost in a lot of business nowadays. So when you really kind of bring that to the table, in my opinion, that surpasses a lot of the other things in business. So I'm excited about that.
I couldn't agree more. And that's really what we do pride ourselves on, is the service side of things.
Yeah, that's so cool. Now, on timing that you kind of mentioned on building it on time, what does the process look like from start to finish? Like, let's say somebody was saying, I want this full court, 2 hoops set up. What does that look like, just from the phone call, or can they find you online and do a little contact you page or whatever that is? Just kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, so they can find us at Pinnacle Sports Group, pinnaclesportsgroup.com, or through Snap Sports. And yeah, they would reach out to us. We would then schedule a time to meet with them on site, take a look at their yard, pull some measurements, get some ideas together, and then put the proposal and some renderings together. And then if they opted to move forward, we asked for half down, and then we would generally pour their concrete within a week or two of getting the go-ahead. And then their court would be fully installed and ready to be played on within a couple months.
Oh, wow. So that's pretty cool. Do you find there's any permitting process? Do you guys have to do any of that with cities or anything?
No, for most of these. So we do a lot of the interior home gyms too. And obviously they have to pull permitting for building these houses. But for the backyard courts, they're basically just big patios that we're putting. Everything that we put on there is technically removable, like our surfacing and the hoops. So yeah, they're pretty straightforward and easy to do. Once the bulk of the work is getting the slab in place. And once we do that takes about a day, 2 max. And then we'd come back and we install the surfacing, the hoops, the lights, the fencing. That takes a couple days. So we're on site for maybe 3 to 4 days max.
Wow, that's lightning fast. So the product is outside. So Utah has unique weather. How long does that last in Utah? Or is that something that's like, with heating and cold and freezing and snow? And does it just get kind of crazy, or how does that work?
So that's the beauty of the Snap Sports line, is it's made here in Salt Lake out on California Avenue. And we've done all of our testing and our R&D in Salt Lake since the 80s.
Oh, nice.
So it's truly built for our climate and our hot summers, the snow we get in the winters.
Cool.
And we've learned a lot, over the 30, 40 years of manufacturing it. So it's really good now. And it's the typical lifespan of an outdoor court would be 15 to 20 years.
Oh, wow. So that's like the kids have grown, they're gone, like the grandkids are coming back and enjoying.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool. I like the longevity there. That's nice. Let's see. Maybe two questions. What are the areas you guys sell in? So maybe is it Logan to St. George, or do you guys have out of state stuff, or what's the best way people can get the product?
So we work all throughout Utah, Southern Idaho, Southwestern Wyoming, Nevada, but the bulk of our work is in Salt Lake County, Utah County, Davis County.
Okay.
But we work all over the state. We're up in Idaho every month or so selling courts. So and that's the beauty of having a rep. So there are some kind of DIY court options out there where someone would go find their own concrete contractor, get their own slab poured, buy some, say, surfacing online. A lot of it's made overseas. And then they install it, and there's a lot of pitfalls that can go throughout that process, particularly finding a good concrete contractor.
Right.
Where our service is kind of full turnkey. So we provide everything. We pour the slab, we install all the surfacing, all the materials, so it makes it a bit easier for the home.
Yeah, that's way cool. And I find that I've seen some crappier product out there when I've been showing homes and stuff, and it seems like at the edges, it's always like bubbled, you know? And then it's like, how would you run and play basketball on that? I'd roll an ankle, and I'm getting older, of course. I don't want to say how old I am, but I would just play on there and just roll an ankle or something, So I'm always excited when I see some really professional high grade stuff in a home when I'm showing it, because I know that it's going to last, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's wrap up with any enhancing story you have about sport court process, or something that maybe somebody has said to you about their sport court or things like that, or maybe even you growing up having one, let's kind of talk about that.
Yeah, so one that comes to mind, we just did a court for Joe Ingles, formerly on the Utah Jazz, this last summer.
Oh, wow, nice.
Which was a really cool experience. He and Renee and his whole family are awesome and super great people. So we built the court last summer. We were then out there last fall filming a commercial on it.
Uh-huh.
And we went out there early in the morning, like a fall morning, and there was some dew, and the court was quite wet.
Uh-huh.
And anybody that's played on any kind of outdoor courts, like any outdoor surfacing, is going to be fairly slick when it's wet.
Right.
But we had this shoot planned, and he's obviously a busy man.
Yeah.
So we proceeded with the shoot, but I was just looking at this court, and I'm thinking, I was just like, please, he cannot go down on our court when we're filming this commercial. And sure enough, he's shooting around, and it's looking really good. And then he goes in for a layup and does a quick little, I'm like, please, just, okay, he tore his ACL, obviously, way after, but I'm like, this is not happening on our watch here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, how was it shooting hoops with Joe Ingles? I'm just curious. Did you get to hang out with him a little bit, learn about him? Because I know that guy, he's just so humble on TV.
Yeah.
I always want to meet him, so I'm just curious.
Yeah, he and his family, it's I think it's hard when you're at that level to be that down to earth when that many people want stuff from you, but couldn't have been a nicer guy. We got to hang out with him while we were building the court. He would come out and ask a bunch of questions and was curious.
Yeah.
And then filming the commercial, all his kids are amazing, and his wife's great. Yeah, I couldn't say enough good things about that whole family.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that story. Oh, oh, that's so awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time to come on to our podcast. And really, thank you for the gifts that some of our clients can get if they reach out to you. And lastly, I'm just grateful that you're providing a service and that you guys have service that is above the bar. Because I really find, like I said, that's lacking in business today. So since you guys are doing that, I really find that to be awesome. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on. It's been a pleasure. I'm a fan of yours and what you're doing here. So thank you again.
No, thank you, sir. All right. That was Adam Drost with Pinnacle Sports Group. And we'll see you guys next time. Latest. Well, that's a wrap. If you like this podcast, like, share, and comment down below. And if you want some free real estate information, check us out at fitnessrealty.com/baller. Well, thanks for supporting us. I love you guys, and we'll see you next time. Later.